Hi, and welcome to Ball Masters Football. We're back with another show, game week 4 of the Premier League results roundup. I hope you all had a great weekend and a great bank holiday. One set of fans that I know for a fact didn't have a great bank holiday and a weekend is Bournemouth. They lost 9-0 to Liverpool. For me, I felt Fabinho and Elliott, for me, in midfield were the difference, were unreal. I thought as well, I thought it was just hard for the Bournemouth to pick up and deal with. I thought they just dominated the game, and I thought they just had a. It was just the Elliott and Fabinho show for me in midfield for the majority of the game. I thought the impact Fabinho had was very, very good. I know he didn't play in the Liverpool game. I think he came on as a sub, and I felt as he started, you can see already how much of an impact he had because I think he intercepted the ball, which led to the first goal. I thought Trent's goal was fantastic. I thought Elliott's goal was very, very classy. I liked that little left foot curler into the bottom corner. One point, however, that I did notice was the amount of chances that Mo Salah missed. Again, it might just be nothing, but I just felt that for the amount of chances that he missed in that game, I was just a little bit concerned. Maybe it might result into a lack of confidence. With strikers, if they're missing chances, their heads drop. So I know he did score in the game, but I just felt that he could have maybe got himself a hat trick even. But I know he missed quite a few. But on to the next one for him. Obviously, I know he'll get his goals that he needs. But in terms of Bournemouth, Scotty Parker got sacked after 4 games, which I thought was a bit harsh. But unfortunately, that's the reality of the big time earners. When you're a billionaire owner, you can make decisions like that. And unfortunately, I think it's a bit harsh. But that's part and parcel of the Premier League, unfortunately. I think the only thing that they can do in this matter is dust themselves off. I think they've conceded a lot of goals in 4 games, which again is a concern. And I think maybe that's why the owners are looking at that. But at the same time, they haven't done themselves any favours by not having brought players in to help the team. Because I think just from being a championship team to then making a step up and expecting them to, match the likes of, your Liverpools, your Cities and your Arsenals. I know that they play them. It's going to be quite tough, and I think you need to have reinforcements like I know Nottingham Forest. I don't know, maybe not to that extreme, and I think they've signed their 20th player. I think it was yesterday, but that's still they still need reinforcements in there just to improve the squad. But yeah, but again on to the next game, which is Southampton Manchester United. Um, I thought Southampton created a lot of chances in that game. I don't think it was one-sided. I don't think it was all Manchester United. But I felt they did create some chances in that game, which I think if they were a bit more clinical in front of goal, I think they would have got it. At least a draw, even. Um, I thought Martinez was, again, another fantastic game from him, man of the match for me. I think it was a good way to introduce Casemiro into the game, bringing him on as a sub. And I thought he made some really good interceptions in the game. I thought Ericsson done really, really well. I thought Sancho done really, really well as well. So I think overall, Ten Hag again after 2 games, 6 points. I think their season starts kind of now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they get on in their next 2 games. I know they've got Arsenal, which I'm hoping that we win that game at Old Trafford. But I think it's just maybe one game at a time for them at the minute. But I think so far so good with them. So I know they're going to have Anthony as another addition in there. So I think they are trying to go about trying to get some business done before the transfer window closes. Our next team that we're going to be talking about, next fixture, is Brentford Everton. Um, Brentford in that game, I thought they created a lot of chances. I thought they created chances in that game. I thought they were just hitting on the counter attack. I thought they were very, very, which again, very quick. I thought in the front three, I really liked them. I think the way that they attack with speed is very impressive. And I felt they were just very unlucky. I thought the amount of times they hit the post or the crossbar or some shots that they should have maybe possibly scored, then they didn't. But I thought it was nonetheless. I felt that they should have at least got something from the game or even won the game. But it's just one of them unfortunate things when luck's on your side, which is luckily Everton, which seems to have not always the best of luck, had the best of luck in that game because they came away with 3 points. Again, it was only one goal, which was again took by Gordon, who is linked with Chelsea, and I'm not sure between now and when the transfer window closes whether he will still be an Everton player. I think it was down to I know Lampard. I think he will keep him because I think if he is to have a great season as Everton manager, I think he's going to need to have those type of players at his disposal if he's looking to stay in the Premier League even. Next fixture is Brighton Leeds. I thought Brighton, again, they're a bit of a funny team because, again, they create a lot of chances. And I know I keep saying chances because that's what they do. They create a lot of chances. And I felt that for them, I thought their best player was Pascal Gropp, I think it is, might be. Might have got the name wrong, the last name wrong. Because I thought he was just making things tick. And I think he was just playing just off Welbeck. And Wales was able to pick up those little pockets of space and be able to play it and switch it. I really like the way Graham's got him playing in that little pocket. And I think he's just able to utilise him. I think he's just where Welbeck's really pushing on that last defender. I think it just leaves him or stretching them. I think it just leaves Pascal with a little bit of space to play in between the lines and possibly pick up little areas where he can cause damage to the opposition. But I thought they were really, really good in that game. In terms of Leeds, they just seemed a bit off in that game. I don't know whether it was just maybe, they might have burnt out, but it's impossible to burn out after 4 games. But they just didn't really seem as energetic, creating chances as they have been of recent. But again, it might just be a bad day at the office, and come next game they'll be back on it again. The next fixture, which is Leicester Chelsea, which I think was a really good game. I really enjoyed that game. Raheem Sterling scoring 2 goals in that game. I was a little bit disappointed with Conor Gallagher's sending off. I felt the first one. I felt the second one. Sorry, I thought was a bit silly. Didn't think he needed to make that idiotic challenge, and I think the end for that he deserved to be off. I thought it was a silly second yellow. The 2 players for me that stood out for me was Cucurella and Raheem Sterling, who really did really well for me in that game. They really impressed. The ones who I liked for Leicester, because I thought they at the end really caused Chelsea some bother there. But obviously, I know Harvey Barnes got the goal, but I thought Tielemans, because for someone that's possibly going away or moving away, I should say, sorry, I thought he'd done really well. I quite liked Vardy as well. I thought he missed a chance where I thought that usually will be, bread and butter for him. But again, I think they're all in a confidence shakedown at the minute in terms of everyone being on it. Obviously, I think there's a bit of unsettlement between players staying or going. So I thought they were a bit unlucky, but I thought if they took their chances in that game, I felt they could have, possibly at least got a draw out of that game. So I thought Chelsea were quite lucky. I really liked Reece James as well on the right. I thought he'd done really well as well, and I thought he caused a threat as well from right back. Moving on to the Chelsea Palace game, which again was another enjoyable game. I thought that Bernardo Silva for me was their man of the match. I quite liked him. Again, that's not taking anything away from Haaland, who got the hat trick. I just felt that Silva, when it was 2-0 down, I thought he was the one that got the goal, and I think everything that happened in terms of creating chances, he was one of the players that was involved in those goals. So for me, I think for me, he was my player of the game. Um, Again, very very great hat trick from Haaland. Again, for a player that's just come in, I think he's got the first hat trick of the Premier League season so far. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how his next games are and how he's able to grow in confidence over the next couple of fixtures. So I'm really intrigued to see how he gets on, because I know a lot of pundits and a lot of people, football fans, have touted him as to being the guy who's going to get the golden boot. Um, but again, I think the only concern that I have um, over Man City is the fact that they're unable to keep goals out. Again, this is the second game now that they've had to come back from 2 goals down. So I think I know it's great that they've come back, but again, you don't want to have to be coming back all the time, because you might come up against a really strong side, and you may just not have enough to be able to get back into the game. So again, I think it's something that they just need to look at. I think Palace were very good in the first half. I thought they were quite organised up until the point where they conceded the first goal, I felt. And then I think they just started to what's the word? I think they just started to their heads started to drop, and they started to become indisciplined. And I think the minute you come in discipline against City, they're just going to pick you off. And I think that's what they've done, and that's how they were able to get the goals and win the game convincingly. But I think 4-2 is a bit of a flattering, because I felt Palace. I think the way Palace played City in the first half, you wouldn't have thought that City would have came out 4-2 winners. But again, that's a sign of champions, being able just to be 2 goals down and be able to get something out of it and win by an impressive scoreline. The other game, the next game, next fixture is Arsenal Fulham. I thought that was a really good game as well. Quite concerning, if I obviously being an Arsenal fan, quite concerning. And the reason I'm going to get into quite concerned, I'm going to get into it in a minute. But I thought Arsenal controlled the majority of the game. Obviously, again, Fulham, were obviously allowing Arsenal to have a certain percentage of space in certain areas of the pitch. I thought we defended their lines well. I just felt that they couldn't get out their half as much. But I think they tried to hit us on the counter attack, and it just didn't really work as well as it might have wanted it to. Mitrovic was, I think, again, another threat. Obviously, again, we allowed, from our mistake, I should say, allowed him to get his goal. I think it was just a little bit disappointing on that part, and that's where my concern comes in. The fact that a lot of our goals so far this season, the goals that we've conceded, have come from our own mistakes. And I know that, obviously, again, we won the game 2-1. I know a lot of Arsenal fans saying, we're resilient and etc. etc. And I'm just thinking to myself, if it really was one of the top 6 teams and we went a goal down, would we have enough to, win the game? And that is a question that I think until we come up against those teams, we won't know. And I felt we were very lucky to get the goal. Gabriel was obviously, again, great goal again from 0 to hero. But I felt that at that time, all he needs to do is get the ball and play it out. And I know there's a mistake in Gabriel. However, he just needs to just be a little more concentrated. And I just hope that he can learn from this, because again, if he doesn't, there's always Tomiyasu's coming back from injury, and then Ben White can slot into that centre back role with Saliba if needs be. But again, nonetheless, 12 points out of 4, so I'm happy with that. I'll take that, being an Arsenal fan. But I just have a slight concern that just the way that we're conceding goals. But yeah, that's a great result nonetheless. The West Ham game, West Ham Villa. I thought, all in all, I thought it was quite it was an enjoyable game, but I felt it only got better in the second half. I think the first half was quite boring, if I'm being honest. I thought the second half, West Ham changed their formation, went to a 4-3-3, and they were able just to get a bit more space. I thought they were able just to get their attacking players on the ball a bit more, and I felt they created a lot more chances than Villa, and then they got their goal. The only other thing that I wanted to say about Aston Villa is a couple of things. Is just the fact that for whatever reason it's not clicking. I don't know whether that is because of I don't know whether that's because the powers that be in terms of Gerrard not picking the correct players, or it could be the likes of you know players just not clicking, or in a little bit of a rut at the minute. But at the minute, I'm just a little bit concerned with them because again, you've got the likes of three top players in Danny Ings, Ollie Watkins, and Coutinho, and you can't score a goal or you can't create chances. That's a concern. I felt that I think they looked like a team low on confidence as well. I know, I know they haven't won or they're not winning. They're not doing as well as in terms of last season. But at the same time, I still feel that they have enough quality in their squad to do damage, and I think to get wins and to get themselves up the table this season. I know again they've got Arsenal in the next game, so I'm expecting them to really give us a game because I know their record against Arsenal recently is quite good. So I really hope that we're at the ready to go because again, if we have a mistakes as we have been of recent, we could find ourselves in a bit of trouble against Villa. But nonetheless, West Ham definitely deserved a win, and I know it was a deflection shot that went over Martinez and into the back of the net, but nonetheless, I thought that they kept probing. I thought if they were out of any of the two teams, I thought they were the ones that were likely going to get the goal. So again, hats off to David Moyes and West Ham. Again, on to the next one for them. I imagine it will be the next fixture is Wolves Newcastle. Again, I thought Neto, again another player that's linked with Arsenal. I thought he caused Newcastle problems in that game. I thought Neves had a really good game as well. Neves' goal, however, was an absolute rocket, quality goal. I would say we're used to seeing Neves scoring goals like that, to be fair. It's not surprising, but I just felt the way he struck it cleanly, and I know the crowd was, ushering him to shoot, and he did, and he ended up getting the goal. So, hats off to him. It was a very, very good goal. I felt Wolves coped with Saint Maximan, quite well. I thought they were doubling up, tripling up on him every time he had the ball, and I thought that was from his last game against Man City, where he was just driving at teams, and I think that was a danger. And I felt that Wolves, his manager, went, let's try and see if we can just nullify that player and stop him from creating or stop him from penetrating close to our area to possibly, because he has the capability of shooting or maybe laying the ball off to somebody else to possibly have a shot. I thought again Wolves created a lot of chances in that game as well. I thought it was quite even as well. I thought towards the end, what a great goal from Saint Maximan. I thought it was a fantastic goal as well. I think it was possibly up there with goal of the season come the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised if it's definitely up there. I don't think it was the most. I don't think it was their most impressive game, Newcastle. But if I'm Eddie Howe, I'm thinking, what, I'll take the point and then just move on. But I thought overall, quite a good performance from Wolves. Moving on to the next game, we've got Forest Tottenham. Again, I thought the passing from Nottingham Forest was very good. The opening hours of the game, I thought they passed the ball well, they pressed well, didn't show Tottenham any respect. I thought they had a bright spark, nice passing. I thought their front three were very good. Johnson, Jesse Lingard, and Gibbs White. I thought those three were lively. I thought they were the ones that if anything, was going to happen positive from Forest in that game, those three were the ones that were behind it. And I thought, to me, I was a little bit disappointed at the way that Tottenham managed to get, again, that goal from Harry Kane on the back stick, unmarked, and a nice header in the goal. I felt that for someone of his ability, I imagine that, he should be the one that should be marked closely and tightly. But sometimes it's very hard to mark someone with that quality as Harry Kane has. I thought as well for Tottenham, I should say, I thought they were very good. On counter attacks, very, very quick. And I know they're a counter attacking team, but I just love the way that Conte's got them playing, and how well they're able to get from one end to the pitch to the other. And there was one period where I think it was a Forest corner, and I think Harry Kane picked it up, or one of the midfielders picked it up, and they were just on the run. And the amount of players that were near or in front of Harry Kane on this counter attack was unreal. And I think it just goes to show that they will sit deep, and any time that there's an opportunity to break, they will break, and you just got to just be able to be defensively in that transition to be able to cope with that counter attack that they're going to put on you. Rich Arnoldson looked very good as well when he came on. I don't know whether I know what your guys' thoughts are on the showboat and doing the kick ups and end up getting fouled, but I don't see nothing wrong with it. But I know some players that could take that the wrong way and want to kick lumps out of him. But overall, Tottenham, again, 10 points in 4 games. I know Conte will, I don't know, most Tottenham fans will take that going into the 5th game. But I think they're on a roll. No one's really talking about them winning the league or, doing anything major. And I think that's maybe just them just going under the radar and just, going about their business quietly. But I think they are going to be definitely up there. I think they're a very good team. And I think going forward, I wouldn't be surprised if they are very much there or thereabouts come the title race. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Again, I think Kaya and Alfie, they must be putting their CV into Bournemouth. That's why they're mostly not here today. But they'll be back, I'm sure. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next show.